everyone, and welcome to Organic Matters, the podcast brought to you by the Irish Organic Association. We're starting off a little bit differently today because usually we start in a field, but today we're starting in a kitchen with farmer Richard Bull. Richard, thank you very much for having us here on your farm.
Thank you for coming down, Hannah.
And the reason we're starting not in the farmyard but in the farm kitchen is because you have diversified your business. Now, you're doing organic oats, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But first of all, the diversification and the role your kitchen plays in that diversification.
Yes, so Hannah, I suppose we have diversified quite significantly. For the last number of years, we have established a tour company. We bring our guests out to stay here with us on the farm. The significance of the kitchen, of course, is most Tuesday mornings, if you were to arrive here at the kitchen, you might find a nice group of American tourists here learning how to bake traditional Irish brown bread. They are going to be sitting here having tea and coffee, eating some lovely bread, some oat flapjacks, scones, all of these things that my wife Bairbre prepares and shows them how to bake. So it's part of an overall farm tour, but also a tour of Ireland and Ireland in general. We're here at the meeting point between the Boyne Valley and the Hidden Heartlands. So we're on the Meath-Westmeath border.
That's probably part of the charm of what you have here, in that while, you know, it is set up to cater for tourists, you have farm life going on, and you have cattle that they can see as well, that I know play a pivotal role in what you're offering.
Yes, the Highland cattle are a huge attraction for people. We've a small herd of Highlands. They're really and truly, people ask me, what we do with them? They're my pets, to be perfectly honest with you. They come up and they run up to me, and they're lovely. So yeah, it's a huge attraction for people. People come out to see the Highlands. But on a more kind of a serious note, we also have our organic Dexters and Shorthorns and Aberdeen Angus. And some people come to see them as well. And we'll explain the whole cycle of the food and everything like that. We have just started very recently selling our own box beef. So it's processed just down the road at Kahlua Castle. And they've been fantastic. And so we are now selling our beef as well, which feeds into the entire circle. Lots of work, but we're happy enough to do the work.
And you have a really beautiful farm and beautiful old stone buildings as well. I know that all takes a lot of upkeep and care. I don't underestimate it at all. But you used to lamb about 700 sheep. So how did you go from sheep farmer to, I guess, raconteur and kind of this tourist operation that you have now?
The raconteur bit.
Was that natural?
Well, funny, when I started Bairbre, she said, "Thank God he's gone out and boring somebody else with his stories, and I don't have to listen about whatever it is, the Cromwellian invasion or whatever it is, that she no longer has to listen to my stories. Some poor unfortunate has to sit with me for 8 or 9 hours in a day and listen to..."
But aren't you just leaning into what you're good at? And so often I think farmers are maybe inherit a farm and just do what was done before, and with kind of denying kind of their own natural instincts, and then they end up miserable a lot of the time. So isn't it better to kind of embrace the things that you can really excel at?
Absolutely. 100%. I couldn't agree more. And my personality and my interests, maybe they just didn't suit being alone in a field all day. And other people, they do. But for me, it was good for myself, even from excluding the finances of it, from a mental health point of view, everything like that, the change was very good for me. And I don't know who I'm going to collect every week. I don't know what their personality is going to be like. We have liaised with them. There's been emails going backwards and forwards. We've set out itineraries. We've done all of this. But there's always a little moment of hesitation when you collect your people and you go, what sort of a week have I got this week? and invariably it's good. And you spend your time with this this lovely group of people, usually a family or group of friends or maybe two couples, whatever it is, and they come down here to our farm at Johnsfort, and we use it as a base. They get to experience, I suppose, a more true farm life. They come in here to our kitchen. Usually our kids are here if it's during the summer, and they'll sit with our kids. Kids love Tuesdays because it's baking day. They'll all emerge looking for whatever it is that's on the table. And so it's giving people, I suppose, a product that is real. And with the way the world is going now, and the emergence of AI and everything is so removed and detached, what we're trying to do is actually bring you right back there to the humanity and the nature. We're lucky as well that we happen to have great sites nearby, such as Newgrange and Trim Castle and all of these magnificent places. This area is absolutely dripping in history, which suits me because I love history. So we're very, very lucky.
And I guess as well, in terms of the place is beautiful. Even driving around, I can see all these kind of old stone piers and everything as well. And yeah, you mentioned Newgrange there, and everyone's been watching, I guess, Manchán Magan's last documentary before he passed away as well, and all the history and spirituality connected with the place. I'm wondering, how do people find you, or what kind of advertising do you have to do? Is it social media? Is it a website? Because people will be, how do you get something like this going, a bit of momentum behind it?
Yeah, so we went down kind of three strands. First of all, social media. Social media is very difficult. In a way, it's never been easier to advertise a product. All we have to do is set up an Instagram account or whatever it is. The thing is that the payback for that is every single day you're going to have to be creating content. And it's photos and it's videos and it's everything. It's relentless. So there's a huge amount of work attached to social media, maybe that people don't think it's there until they actually have to do it. We also work business to business as well. So tour companies as well that we would work with directly. And then you have the website. And a good website will attract people, without a doubt. It needs to be good quality and it needs to be quick, because the attention span now is seconds.
And then I think it's a good farmer and a good personality as well. I think that must play a good big part of it, because even just walking into this kitchen, it has such a homely vibe to it. So yeah, you would not be setting up this business if you didn't have the personality for it either.
Well, certainly I wouldn't take credit for that end of things. No, I suppose the when you're working with tourists, and what we do is very, very intimate. It's you're with a small group pretty much for the entirety of the day, and you just need to be adaptable enough that you can adapt to everybody's personality. Some people are quick and some people like to take things easier, and it takes a little while to figure out which people are. But once you do, you have to be willing to just adapt to their pace, their interests, and maybe next week you're going to be back at a different pace with different interests and everything like that. Yeah,
it's very interesting. Well, moving away from the people, we are going to have a look at these infamous Highland cattle, and we'll chat a bit about crops as well. So we'll head outside.
Okay.
Come on, fellas. Come on up.
Oh, they're majestic, aren't they?
They're gorgeous. Now, they've all have names because they're pets.
Yeah.
So I'll go through a few names. I didn't necessarily name them all myself, with a bit of help from the kids. So this lady here is Constance. And Constance is actually named after one of the great heroines of Irish history, Constance Markievicz. We have Grace, and she's named after Grace Gifford, famously the great song Grace. And
Rod Stewart's a big fan of that song.
Yes.
Anyone who watched The Late Late with Rod Stewart talking about that song, Grace, yeah.
And then the big guy there, that's a bullock. So we actually didn't really want him, but when we went to collect the two ladies there, the person, I won't name him just in case, but he said to me, please, will you take that guy? Because he was a bit of a pain, and he is a bit of a pain, but I like him. Yeah. He's a troublemaker. And then there's the smaller ones, and they're 2-year-olds.
The horns are incredible even for 2 years old, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, there's something about the Highland cattle. They are obviously so iconic with their kind of shaggy caramel manes and fringes, and then those giant curving horns. They're beautiful. Yeah.
They
and I'm
really
guessing that when tourists come and see them, or any visitor to the farm, their jaws just drop.
They love them. They absolutely love them, and they're actually being a little bit antisocial today, but they usually will come right up to us here and they'll be sticking their tongues out at you. Just the other two, given their names there, a little blonde one there, my daughter named her Taylor Swift, so she's a proper Swiftie. And then we have Joan Cena, because my son wanted to call her John Cena, and we decided it wasn't fair to call her John Cena, so we settled on Joan.
Nice, yeah. And I guess so. This is all the diversification side covered. You have two beautiful kind of, I was going to call them gîtes, but they're like Airbnbs as well in the farmyard.
Yeah. So that was all part. We restored buildings about 10 years ago, and we've had them an Airbnb style, but that's what we use for the farm accommodation now. So they're both 2-bedroom. We also have them on Airbnb and Booking.com on our own website, so they are available to book. We have that, and obviously then we have the more conventional side of things with our beef cattle. We've heard of Dexters, and we've just started processing their meat. And we have heard of Aberdeen Angus and Shorthorn sucklers as well. This year, I know you wanted to talk about the oats. First time there was oats grown on our farm since World War II time, I'd imagine. And we sowed oats, I think it was the 11th of March last year. Got the seed down in Cork, Fruit Hill Farm.
Yeah.
And local tillage farmer did all of the work on it.
And thought you were a bit mad, probably. Did he, or was he on board?
He was kind of curious, and the reason he was curious was he was kind of saying, right, I know what he's getting for this, roughly, and I know what his inputs are, roughly, and he's probably kind of wondering how it stacks up alongside his own conventional. It worked. We had an absolute perfect year for it. We'll see what it's like on a rougher year, but the ground was in fantastic condition when the seed went in. It was harvested in lovely conditions. Got a little bit dry in May, but like you kind of put it in and close the gate and hope for the best. I think that's
all you could do, really.
Yeah.
In terms then of, if people want to find out more about you, where can they go to find out?
So our website is johnsfort.ie, and that has pretty much anything that you want. We do have social media there. Again, Johnsfort, at Johnsfort on Instagram. Sorry, I made a mess of that. But definitely the website will get pretty much everything you need to know about us. Yeah.
And Dora, you nailed the Instagram at Johnsfort as well, and people will know probably because I'm guessing there's some Highland cattle pictures on your Instagram.
There's one or two in there.
I can imagine one or two.
Yeah.
And we're going to be taking some pictures too for the social media for the Irish Organic Association. So if anyone wants to check those out as well, I imagine there'll be a link as well on our social media to your site, and then you might get some people who want to book Airbnbs as well. You never know.
Anyway, yeah, absolutely. Doors always open.
Do you have any advice, because you've done a bit of everything, I guess. You've done sheep farming, you've got your, I guess you have your lovely beautiful pets, you could call them, in front of I think they're a key part of your diversification. You've got your cattle boxes as well, beef boxes, and your kind of more conventional style, but obviously organic cattle, and then you've got your oats as well. I mean, do you have any words of wisdom for anyone out there?
Yeah, if you're a very, very tidy person that can't bear to see weeds in their fields, maybe it's not for you. But you know, if you work with it, I've found the organics overall. I've liked it. It's, in a way, it's going back to the way our grandparents farmed, and you've lost some of the safety nets that were introduced since then. But maybe we need to not be doing what we were doing 20, 30 years ago, and maybe we need to be doing what was being done 60 years ago, with a modern twist. And yeah, I think if you can cope with weeds, and you're not in a position where you have to buy a lot of animal feed, it's certainly worth looking at. Yeah, absolutely.
And weeds are just a flower by another name.
Absolutely.
So for anyone listening, thank you very much for tuning in. You've been tuning in to Organic Matters, the podcast brought to you by the Irish Organic Association. For more on organics, you can go to www.irishorganicassociation.ie. But from me, Hannah Quinn Mulligan, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll be back again in another 2 weeks' time.